Good morning, Nathaniel.
Good morning.
You want to tell me what just happened?
We just cleaned it up.
What did we clean up?
We cleaned up the paint.
The paint? Where was the paint?
Right down.
Right here on the carpet?
Mm-hmm.
How did we clean it? It looks pretty good. How did we clean it up?
With Eloise and Kamali. And cold water!
Cold water, palm olive, and elbow grease.
Cold water and elbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you help me sing our song? The more we work together, together, together. Oh, the more we work together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends. Hey, we gotta start that again. And my friends are your friends. Oh, the more
We already done the song.
the happier we'll be. Good morning, Andrew. Does it smell clean on the carpet? Yeah. We're so thankful we got the stains out of the carpet. Add some oil-based paint. So, a couple days ago, we read half of this auto repair center book, and I forgot to read the rest yesterday, Andrew and Nathaniel. So we've got to read it for our friends today. We want them to know the rest of the story. Soon it was time for lunch. Jack brought drinks from a lunch truck. Your truck is sounding awfully loud today, he observed. The driver nodded. It's been that way ever since I hit a pothole yesterday. Jack bent down and looked under the lunch truck. Looks like you got a hole in your muffler. Driver said, thanks. I'll make an appointment soon to get it fixed. After lunch, Jack talked to a young man named Steve whose van kept overheating. My dad says I bought a lemon, Steve said, but I think it's a good van. Jack said, we'll see. There are lots of different reasons for a car to overheat. Stand back, Jack warned. A hot radiator can build up steam. Jack used a heavy rag to protect his hand. Then he slowly turned the radiator cap to release the pressure. Whoosh! Steam hissed out of the van's radiator. When the hissing stopped, Jack checked for holes in the radiator and the hoses connected to it. Jack pointed to white streaks on the radiator hoses. Those streaks mean leaks, he said. Jack replaced the worn radiator hoses. Then he said, let's check the other hoses. Drew looked at the hoses and tubes that snaked around the van's engine. He pointed to a white powder around the battery caps. Is that supposed to be there? Jack smiled. You'll make a fine mechanic. That white powder is corrosion on the battery. Help me, Droodle. Hey, guys. Yeah. We need to clean that off and check the battery. Jack also checked the van's spark plugs, shocks, belts, filter, and many other parts. Gotta turn the page, Andrew. Finally, Jack went back to the waiting room to talk to Steve. Your van is not a lemon, but it does need a lot of work. Jack explained everything he would need to do to get the van in tip-top shape. Then he gave Steve an estimate. The estimate included how long Jack thought the work would take, as well as how much the replacement parts would cost. Steve said, I'll make an appointment right now. Jack's next patient was Mr. Hatch's off-road vehicle. Sometimes the steering pulls, Mr. Hatch explained. Do you drive on a lot of rough roads, Jack asked. Mr. Hatch chuckled. All the time, he said. Jack told Drew, going over bumps and potholes can loosen the connections between the steering wheel and the power steering mechanism. But it can be fixed. Jack also checked the washer fluid. You can help me refill it, he said. Drew held a funnel while Jack poured the blue washer fluid into the container under the hood. Jack's next appointment was late. While he waited, Jack cleaned up his area. He put away his tools so they'd be ready for the next time he needed them. Good mechanics don't waste time looking for lost tools. When that was done, Jack read the latest issue of Modern Mechanics magazine. Keeping up with new technology is part of a mechanic's job. I wonder what cars will be like when you grow up, Jack said. Julie's voice crackled over the loudspeaker. There's a damaged motorcycle on the highway. Jack, can you pick it up? Jack took Drew with him in the tow truck. The powerful truck had a winch on the back to lift the front end of a disabled vehicle off the ground. Jack said a tow truck is like an ambulance for vehicles. It carries them to the shop when they can't make it on their own. Jack talked to the policeman on the scene. A car had hit the motorcycle. A real ambulance had taken the driver to the hospital. He had a broken arm. Jack shook his head. Safe cars are not enough. People have to be safe drivers, too. Jack took the motorcycle back to the shop. All the mechanics gathered round. Wouldn't take much to hammer out that fender, one observed. We could salvage the parts, another said. But the engine, Jack bent to get a closer look. The damage might not be as bad as it looks. I bet we can save the motorcycle. Drew fell asleep to the sound of hammers, sanders, and drills. Being a mechanic is fun, but it's tiring work. Part 2 of At the Auto Repair Center. Do you think you would like to go to an auto repair center sometime, Nathaniel? Yeah? Sometime? What you doing, Droodlebug? Thank you for joining us for our song and story today. We hope you enjoyed our wild little time. And we'll see you again next time. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Come back again. We'll see you soon. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.